right, when it comes to controlling your summer pain this summer, you need to be extra selective with your shoes. Dr. Joy Rowland is joining us. She's a podiatrist from the Cleveland Clinic, and I thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You have some great pointers to get to here. There's a lot of things that shoes can do that are in the way of helpful for us, but then also can be a detriment to us, right?
Absolutely. Shoes can either help you through your activities or they can actually hurt you through your activities. If you are thinking you're going to go to a picnic or an event, you want to make sure that you're wearing an appropriate sandal or an athletic shoe. So if we start thinking about appropriate flip-flops, for instance, do we want to wear something that looks just cute, or do we want something that's great for our foot?
And trust me, as I get older, I understand. It's gotta be, you gotta throw the looks aside and do what's good. But thankfully, companies make shoes these days that are comfortable and look good as well.
Yes.
So you brought some sandals. I know there's a few different points we want to get to.
Yes.
Plantar fasciitis being one of them that a lot of people deal with.
Absolutely.
What is it, first of all, and how can we help the situation?
Plantar fasciitis is an overuse syndrome of the plantar fascial ligament. The plantar fascial ligament actually runs along the entire bottom of the foot. So when you're exercising or you're wearing improper shoe gear, you can often cause an irritation or an inflammation of that plantar fascial ligament. So you'll often see pain in the arch or on the bottom of the heel.
Okay,
so it's really important to have appropriate shoes and arch supports to support the plantar fascia to prevent it from happening.
So now I see some little gadgets here. What would you use some of these things for then?
Sure. You would use a rolling ball if you have a tight plantar fascial ligament that's starting to get sore. Prior to and after exercise, you want to roll your foot over that plantar fascial ligament. Not only does it stimulate blood flow, it brings in oxygen and helps heal the tissues.
Interesting. Okay, and the boot is just as an example here of if you have a serious issue with it, it would help for temporary purposes?
Yes, if you have plantar fasciitis that does not seem to be going away on its own, with you helping it with stretches and ice and appropriate shoes, please see your podiatrist because there might be underlying issues. There might be a tear in the plantar fascia, or you can have swelling of the heel bone, and a boot is necessary at that time.
Interesting. And again, this is why you go to, when you have an issue, go to the experts. They'll help you with this. Bunions, that's something else that a lot of folks deal with.
Absolutely. We see bunions all the time in both ladies and men. Important things to realize about bunions is most of the time you cannot correct a bunion on your own. If we catch it early enough, there are certain things that we can do to try to prevent it from getting worse, including orthotics, which is something that could be custom made for your foot to help slow down progression of the bunion. There are also socks that are now available to help keep pain away. So this is not compressive over that bunion or bone that sticks out on your foot.
Interesting. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we now have shoes.
Now, in these shoes, you have some examples of the good shoes and the bad shoes, right?
I do.
So this would be good.
This is an example of a very good shoe, especially for patients who have plantar fasciitis. It has a great arch support. I don't know if you can see that here, but there's a built-in arch here. But in addition, there's very soft material here, and it is great for bunions because it allows expansion over that bunion. It's not going to press too hard.
Now, what about running shoes, real quick? Because that seems
right. That's the twist test. If you can twist your shoe and if you can bend it back and forth like this, it is not a great shoe. It might say it's good, but it's not the greatest. What you need to do is find a shoe that's stiffer, not bendable, has a great arch, and if you have flat feet, so something that where your foot is flat, you need to find a shoe that has a wider sole on the bottom in addition to the support.
And things like this would also just turn your flat foot into having that arch that it needs.
Yes.
Arthur's Shoe Store, that's the perfect place, right, where they can go?
Yes, Arthur's Shoe Tree is in Bay Village, and they were gracious to accommodate me with some perfect shoes for this, and a wonderful shoe store. That's where I shop, and that's where I send patients. It's a great family-run shoe store with great shoes.
Thank you so much for coming in and giving us the lowdown. You can always go to her as the podiatrist if you need her, Dr. Joy Rowland from the Cleveland Clinic. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.